Yeah, welcome everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself. Hello. If you can unmute yourself, you can say hello. If you want to introduce yourself to everyone, our usual roll call. So my name is Daniel, the programs manager for Catalyst African Town Hall. And I usually do this together with my team members. I have a beautiful team supporting this bi-weekly town hall. I have here with me our coordinator, Madam Efia. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. And then we have Richmond, who will help us with graphic design and publicity. Richmond, if you are here, would you like to say hello to the community?
Yeah, hello everyone.
Okay, thank you for all the graphics you're doing for us. Then we have Obio. Professor Obio, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Everyone.
okay. Nice to hear from you. I just made you co-host. If you can help us to admit people in. And then we have Boaz. Boaz is our community manager for the Francophone community. Boaz, are you there? Ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. Hello from Goma to the entire world.
Okay, Boaz. I've also made you a co-host. If you can also admit people for us to the room, it would be very great. Okay, so if today is the first time joining the Catalyst African Town Hall, I want to take this opportunity to share with you our mission, which is to foster education, create awareness, and adoption of blockchain technology across Africa and beyond. And we do this by hosting inclusive bi-weekly town halls. We also have collaborative programs and initiatives, and we have educational programs that we do going to each African countries, educating students on Cardano blockchain technology. And we strive to build a vibrant tech community that will drive innovation, economic growth, and then have a positive societal impact in Africa and beyond. This is our project, and we hope you like our mission. If you have any contributions that you want to add up to us, you are welcome. We also have our anthem that we usually read to let you know the journey so far, what might happen on our way, and where we are finally going. So I will invite Boaz to help us to do this. Boaz, if you can unmute yourself and read for us, both in English and French, because we operate in both English and Francophone community. So Boaz, over to you.
Great, thank you. Welcome to us from the mountains of Kilimanjaro to the soothing sounds of the Nile, across the expanse of the savannah, the depth and breadth that surrounds Mother Africa. We say Caribou, Akwaba, Kaabo, bienvenue. Welcome to another exciting Catalyst African Town Hall. Our ship is ready to sail, so sit tight and get ready for a breathtaking experience as we show you around the world of blockchain and other exponential technology in Africa. For Francophone, bienvenue à Kat, des montagnes de Kilimanjaro au son épaisant du Nil, en passant par l'étendue de la savane, la profondeur et l'étendue qui entoure la mer Afrique. Nous disons Caribou, Akwaba, Kaabo, bienvenue, welcome, dans une autre mairie africaine passionnante des catalystes. Notre navire est prêt à naviguer, à rester assis et à se préparer à vivre une expérience à couper les souffles, alors que nous vous faisons découvrir le monde de la blockchain et d'autres technologies exponentielles en Afrique. Next. Good. But hey, our ship is not that expensive, may break, it may disconnect, sometimes it may waver, but one thing is certain, it will take us to our destination. It promises to be an exciting tomahawk. Let's do this together. Come back to French people. Mais bon, notre navire n'est pas si cher. Il peut casser, il peut se déconnecter parfois, il peut lâcher, mais une chose est sûre, il nous amènera à destination. Cela promet d'être une assemblée publique passionnante. Faisons-le ensemble. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Boaz. Merci beaucoup. Things may break. So in case my internet start disconnecting, you may this is the first-hand information we are giving you. But however, we are going to finish this meeting and we hope there will not be any technical issues. So once again, thank you very much for coming to today's town hall. Our main agenda today is to discuss the roadmap to Cardano Solutions Architect with Mr. Bharat, who is the Chief Technical Officer for Emurgo Academy. So at this moment, I'll stop sharing my screen. And then Mr. Bharat, if you are there, can you please unmute yourself for us?
Yep.
And then tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to hear from you. Who is Mr. Bharat?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'd like to say thanks for inviting me. And the first two slides were, they capture the spirit of Africa really beautifully. I really loved the composition. We have a similar kind of a thought in our national anthem, where we talk about, how India is from one end to the other end, from all the directions, right? So it sort of reminded me of that, the spirit of what you put there. So awesome to see that. And yeah, I think your second slide, the ship is not that expensive. It may break, but it'll get us there. I think this is, a very, very positive kind of a thinking that I see, and I've seen that earlier in my interactions with people from the African continent. They're full of energy, determination, and making it in spite of everything, right? So that's really amazing. So thanks for inviting me. The first two slides blew me away. So a little bit about me. I am a software developer. I started off, I think, in 2000, where I started learning C++, and then got into a job as a developer. So last 24 years have been all about development, slowly moving on to product development. And then, finally, around 2016, 17, I started getting interested in blockchain. I thought I entered late, but turns out I was quite early, because when I joined the blockchain revolution in India, right? I'm from India. I'm from Bangalore. It's the Silicon Valley of Bangalore, Silicon Valley of India, right? Which is not saying much, but yeah, we are getting there. It's definitely one of the vibrant places for software development. And when I joined the blockchain revolution, as I said, I thought I was just late, but it turns out I was very, very early. And at the time, I remember, when I was thinking of getting into blockchain, I searched on LinkedIn and I could find maybe some 2 or 3 people who were even talking about cryptocurrency from India, right? And from there, I was just a freelancer. I got into building a few projects on Ethereum, slowly then moved to Cardano. Emurgo Academy, I was invited to the inauguration event in Bangalore for Emurgo Academy. I attended it, and then I became the chief, the vice president for technology. And from there on, it's been a 5-year journey. So just recently, in April beginning, I completed 5 years at Emurgo Academy. And it's been really an amazing journey, teaching and then helping people learn about blockchain first and then Cardano, right? So it's been an amazing journey. I've met a lot of very, very interesting people. I've learned a lot from a lot of our learners as well. So it's been an amazing journey, right? And yeah, so today I wanted to talk about something about our flagship program, which is called as the Cardano Solutions Architect, right? And this is sort of the culmination point of 5 years in the blockchain industry, where we have seen the ups and downs of the crypto industry, the complexities of blockchain development, the security issues with so many dApps that are developed on Ethereum up to Cardano, right? Of course, Cardano thankfully has amazing security. We have not had a single hack till now, fingers crossed. And even if some hacks do occur, I think that just shows that we are progressing to the point where we are starting to break things and we'll grow stronger from there. So it's not a negative per se. But definitely, if I look at Cardano compared to all the other blockchain protocols out there, where you hear of a couple of hacks every month, a couple of $100 million, we have all become desensitized to blockchain hacks, where you say, okay, a hack occurred, no longer surprises us, but okay, how much was this hack worth? Okay, $50 million. Okay, that's not that bad, right? Something like that. So from this came the thought that, it's not enough to learn smart contract development or dApp development, but it's important to be able to move from there to the point where you become really a solid programmer who can work in production environments, right? And believe me, I have seen a lot of courses in the blockchain industry, and none of them talk about production, like production skills. And that's what we have tried to build in Emurgo, right? So let me share my screen. Oh, 1 second. All right, hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. So let me start off. I mean, most of you know about Emurgo. So Emurgo Academy is the educational wing of Emurgo. And we were established in 2019, and that's when I got associated with Emurgo Academy as a practicing developer in blockchain on Ethereum. And then slowly, as Cardano scaled up and Gogan smart contracts came in, etc., we have been sort of teaching developers about Cardano development for the last 3 years or slightly more than that. And so the idea is, of course, initially, when Gogan era launched, we were more about smart contract programming, Haskell, Plutus, etc. But then over time, we saw that there's also a little bit more depth that is required. So this is where we sort of envisioned and created the Cardano Solutions Architect. Right? So the program is basically concentrating on production ready skills. So somebody who's gone through this program has a very good idea, not just about smart contract development, how do you get things working on Cardano, but to the point where you take this person and you plonk him into a job, right, in one of the premier organizations. He will be able to, all he has to do is understand the workflow of that particular organization, but he's already, he's already capable. He has a good amount of skills, and he's able to get up to speed maybe within a couple of weeks, right? So, and the focus is on learning how to scale your idea from the conceptualization to the point where you actually have a commercial app which you can deploy. So this is a very big thing. Believe me, I doubt that there are any courses out there which really teach you this kind of stuff. Typically, what happens is you learn smart contract development, and then you struggle, you try, you grind, you somehow land an internship, maybe you spend a couple of months understanding what you don't know, and then a couple of years learning what you don't know, and getting to the point where maybe 2 years down the line, you had enough exposure that you're able to say that, yes, now I know what really building an application really means, right? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to take that entire journey with all the pitfalls and all the struggles and compress that into something which can really help you get to that point. Instead of in 3 years, you get to that point in 6 to 8 months, right? So that's what we really try to do here. And so basically, it's right from discovery. You think of something, you design it, develop it. But then there are other aspects which are typically never talked about, right? Testing, QA, property-based testing, integration testing, stress testing, CI/CD, the continuous integration, continuous deployment, that entire thing, and right up to the point where you deploy a website and it's functional, right? So that's what we are talking about in the Cardano solutions. So this is a very, very comprehensive high skill program. So we have broken it down into 3 sub-modules. One is, of course, something called the blockchain fundamentals. And the idea here is, when we look at this program, the idea is that if you are somebody who has an intention to be a Cardano developer, right, and you don't have anything more than maybe some basic programming skills, right, you don't even know anything about blockchain, right, from that point to the point where you become an expert developer, we have sort of eased out that heavy learning curve and made it possible for people to stick with us a couple of hours a week, and then some research and some coding on their own, and get to the point where a couple of months later they are really having that experience. They have built a couple of projects, a production application like a sample project which is production level, etc. Right. So right from blockchain fundamentals, getting to the Cardano part where you really understand the protocol. You understand how does Ouroboros really work, what are the various flavors of Ouroboros. So a deep general technical overview, that's what the blockchain fundamentals module gets you to. And then the Cardano developer professional sub-module, as we call it, is something where you understand the native aspects of Cardano, right from how does an address get created, what is the 2 aspects. One is the payment address, and then there is a staking address, and how those get created. What are the signing keys? Right from there to UTXOs, how do you build transactions? How do you, what are the different kinds of UTXO-based transactions that you can create? Very advanced transactions. And then slowly getting into the smart contract architecture, on-chain, off-chain. We used to have a very comprehensive program using Haskell and Plutus. But in the last couple of months, we have been sort of moving away from Haskell and Plutus, which are very, very high skill. Though, all the people that we have trained for the last 3+ years have achieved that kind of high skill level, right? Now we are moving to Aiken, because Aiken is looking really, really good, really comprehensive. At the same time, it's also being used in production by quite a few organizations. So that sort of takes out a lot of the learning curve. But at the same time, it's very important to understand how do you use Aiken effectively, right? So smart contract development using Aiken. So by the second module, you have a good idea of how the Cardano technical stack works. You have learned enough smart contract programming that you can take up a use case and build the smart contracts for it, right? And then from there, you come to the production skills where you really learn how do you scale that to the next level, which is how do you build, conceptualize, build, and deploy a full-blown T-app, right? Which is having a proper website and interaction, etc. Everything. Right? So yeah, I mean, I'll spend a few minutes here. Blockchain fundamentals, cryptographic primitives, consensus protocols. Of course, consensus protocols. You might have some idea about it, but then at the deep level, how do consensus protocols really solve this problem of Byzantine fault tolerance? What are the various sort of difficult technical problems which have been solved there, right from the deep technical knowledge? It is general technical knowledge, but very, very deep. You are really inspecting the engine of blockchain technology when you do this, right? Significance of tokens, how smart contracts really work, what are the problems there, how are they solved, Oracle integration, what are the different kinds of interoperability and scalability solutions? How does, for example, something like layer 2 work, whether it be Plasma or it be side chains or it be any of these scaling technologies, how do they really work? How does Hydra work, for example, right? At the heart of it, right? So very, very comprehensive knowledge. And then, of course, use case studies. I think this is something which any Cardano person would typically know. But once you have gone through this part, right, you've got a very, very comprehensive knowledge. You understand the blockchain technology at the deepest level, right? So, I mean, you can think of it like a warrior who's just been initiated and they have just sort of gotten to the point where they have some armor, some technique, etc. But they have still yet to learn a lot. And then the next module is something which talks about introduction to the Cardano toolchain. What are the various components? How do those communicate with each other? Cardano protocol primitives such as what is the cryptographic primitives, etc. UTXO deep dive. How do you use transaction metadata to create maybe a supply chain solution, right? And then how do you build your tokens, whether they be fungible, non-fungible tokens? How do you mint them, the entire thing on the command line? How do you use developer APIs like Blockfrost or Maestro? And you can scrape data from the blockchain, use that in your contracts, etc. Right? Then, of course, the smart contract architecture, off-chain, on-chain, what is the real significance of that, etc. And then, of course, a huge amount of hands-on on Aiken. So we have recently shifted to Aiken because it looks stable enough that we can use that at that level, right? And all of this is taught to you by expert faculty, people who have worked on building solutions, people who have taught for a couple of years. This live interaction, none of it is e-learning or some canned video which is maybe 6 months old and already irrelevant. This is people who are spending time teaching you all this, right? And then, of course, at the end of this entire thing, the learners literally they define what they're thinking of building. They work with the faculty, who mentors them, define the scope of the project, actually write the code. Wherever they're stuck, they can ask for help and get to the point where maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, they have a functional project, a smart contract project at this point. So I would say this is like, that warrior boy has now grown up a little bit. He's faced a few battles. He has a few battle scars. And that's where he's at the end of this journey, right? But this is not all, right? The next level is the real, what we call it as things get serious, right? So this is a production level full stack DApp, right from use case and analysis and design. We typically take one particular use case and then we show you how do you go from design or conceptualization right up to deployment. So whether it be NFT marketplace, use case analysis and design, there's a discussion, white paper composition, then there's so much things, front-end transaction building, unit testing, property-based testing, integration testing. You have a team working together to build this project. One of them builds one module, another builds a module, and then they don't fit. That's the kind of stuff which you have to get used to in a production team. Stress testing, if you have, say, 500 users or 1,000 users or 10,000 users using your product at the same time, does it take that stress and work still properly, right? Then smart contracts. You build your smart contracts. They're pretty complicated. Can you build an API to sort of simplify it so that you can consume this from the front end, right? Oracle and third-party APIs, how do you use those? CI/CD pipeline, how do you ensure that you have this smooth workflow where you commit something, it automatically builds, tests, everything is passed, then it deploys, and you got a functional website, right? Website deployment. Along with this, we also have some experts coming in who are veteran proposal assessors who come in and help you understand how can you take all this knowledge and start contributing in Project Catalyst, and get to the point where you can actually start your own startup, get funding, that kind of stuff. Funding as in a grant, right, through Project Catalyst. So this is overall the production full stack DApp solution. And then, of course, you take all this knowledge and then you take whatever use case you have in mind, and then you sort of work with the, and for this particular section, we actually have people who have built things like, let's say, Muesli Swap or, Genius Yield or any of these particular things, right? So these are production experts who are coming in and sharing their expertise. So this is not your average faculty who understands how to build things, but these are people who have actually built some of the best solutions out there. They come in and they spend tens of hours together with you, getting you to the point where you really become very, very skilled at this, right? So the equivalent is, now this is a battle hardened, it's not, I mean, serious stuff, right? So this is the kind of thing that the Cardano Solutions Architect program really exposes you to, right? So I'll stop here. I'd love to hear questions.
Mr. Barat, thank you very much for the comprehensive presentation. I really like it, how you started it. And I want to ask, can you tell us the duration of each of the courses from the foundation to the native, all the way to the learning to the production skills?
Absolutely. So for example, if you see the blockchain fundamentals, this is a 30-hour program, 30-hour module. So typically what happens is you will spend maybe 4 hours a week, learning with the faculty, discussing peer-based learning, etc. So the first module is around 30 hours. Then the next module is around 70 hours, right? So this is where you really get to the point where you're comfortable, proficient in smart contract development. You understand how to use native scripting, understand transaction metadata, all those things, right? And how to literally use all these things together in building a backend, right? And of course, the production full stack dApp thing is it's around 40 to 50 hours. So this is where 50 hours are spent with the expert production experts and interaction, and then you finally build a project of it. So 30, 70, and then 50. And of course, there's something more where you really do smart contract profiling, production design patterns, Plutonomicon, Plutarch, etc. But that is in a next level. But by the point you complete this, you are more than capable of writing your own stuff.
Interesting.
I think Boaz had raised his hand.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for your presentation. I have many questions, but because of time, I will make only two. Yeah, my two questions are, I would like to know the Emurgo's concrete achievements in Africa. And the second question, I would like to know, how does Emurgo adapt its offer to the African context? Yeah.
So see, I might not be able to give you exact figures on how, for example, Emurgo Academy is contributing to Africa. We have run a couple of batches there. Those people have then gone on to building startups in Cardano by themselves, right? So that's one thing. But definitely, for example, some of our learners have gone and built some of the well-known names in the Cardano ecosystem, right? For example, Anastasia Labs. That's something which was set up with 2 of our students who joined and created the startup along with our CSA expert faculty who came in, and I can say that that's a proof of the pudding, that you can really take this knowledge and then get to the point where you build a successful startup, a very, very successful startup, for example, right? And regarding Africa, I think definitely Africa, Emurgo Africa and Emurgo Ventures, Emurgo Middle East, Middle East and Africa, right? So they are doing a lot where they are sort of bringing up the ecosystem in Africa. They are funding these kind of startups and even mentoring them to the point where they are able to make a successful venture there, right? But then again, that's outside the scope of academy. Academy is only on focused on training. So we try to get people up to the point where they can be very, very proficient developers and build the ecosystem.
Interesting. So currently we were running an educational program in 6 African countries where we go to the schools, universities to educate them on Cardano blockchain, and majority of the students are interested in learning the technical side, blockchain development, and I think this is a very good explanations, and it will also increase their interest more. And we have most of those students also here with us. We also have their contact that will be sharing their recorded videos with them. We also planning on getting some funding to sponsor most of these students to to go through the training with Emurgo Academy. So
Yeah.
we really appreciate your presentation. So if I don't know if anybody have a question again, Mr. Nzola, did I see your hand up? I saw someone's hand up.
Rina there?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
here.
You can
Bernard,
answer
I
the
think
question
has,
about, I think Bernard is asking about something.
yes, Bernard, here for the entire program of Cardano Solutions Architect, the fee
About
is
150
one.
hours.
Yes, it is $1,900 US dollars. That's the fees. But then we are in the process of working out something with Daniel to give a special fee structure to people who are approaching us through the Africa Town Hall. So that there will be a set of people who will be attending this program right from scratch to the production level, and there will be a special fee structure which will be designed for you all. So it all depends on how soon we get the confirmation from you all in terms of the availability for the program, and how we can schedule it further. It all depends on that.
So that's true. Vina have been very helpful for us, and she's given us discounts. So we'll be communicating that with you, or very soon be checking your emails. We'll send you an email telling you to fill a form if you're interested to join or become a Cardano solution architect. So be watching out. If there's no more question, we'll go to our next agenda.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
All right,
Barat. We
then,
really
yeah, thank you.
appreciate you. Vina,
Yes,
please, are you talking?
thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having us here, and and thank you for your interest in Cardano Solutions Architect. I'm sure you will all get benefited with this program, and I look forward to onboarding all of you for the program.
Yep.
Yes. All
Okay,
right, then. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you. Yeah.
okay. So, okay. So our next on the agenda is the Accra Resource Center. Madam Efia, please, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Please, would you like to tell us about the Accra Resource Center? What is it about?
Yeah, the Accra Resource Center is a project that got funded under Project Fund 11. And the whole idea is to create a place whereby we can nurture Africa's future technology leaders by teaching cutting edge technologies. So the Resource Center is supposed to do, this is our mission for establishing the Resource Center. And our vision is to become a premier tech education hub in Africa. What's our purpose? To inspire young Africans to build and innovate through hands-on learning. We want to make sure that unemployment is decreased within the continent. There's a whole lot of people finishing school and waiting on governments or people to employ them. But we believe that with this establishment of this center, people can actually learn and be able to be self-employed. Next slide. So, as I said, we are going to do this by learning, by doing. We are going to partner with a whole lot of industry people so that they can actually teach hands-on to students for them to be able to meet the real world life within the tech environment. So if you are here and you are interested to support the Accra Center, you are welcome. It's open to everybody who is interested in technology to build up, or if you have ideas to support, you are all welcome. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you very much, Madam Ifea. I really like your vision, your mission to empower the African youth to be innovators, to learn tech. And I think our project, the Cardano Solution Architect, will be very beneficial to your resource center. So you will also be hearing from us, and we'll be happy to train some of your students that you have. Does anyone have question for the Accra Resource Center? So if I may ask, how many students do you have now, or how are you doing your onboarding?
Okay, we're just creating the center. We have the center set up. We have equipment in place. We are yet to do onboarding of students. Actually, we are currently doing onboarding of tutors. We are yet to do onboarding of students. So that is the process. And hopefully by mid-May, we'll start our first cohorts.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for sharing this with us. Those of you who don't know,
And
Madam
we'll be
Ifea.
falling on some of you who have expertise to be mentors. Is that how we say it? Yeah. Because we want to have a cream of mentors that will mentor the students. So like yourself, Ubio, Boaz, those people who are in the system that really know how the system is going. We're falling on you to be our mentors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll be happy to be a mentor and to impact into your students. So next on our agenda is Foodtrek, a team from Foodtrek, come to talk about sociocratic DREPs. I'll play their video first. Then later on we have interaction with Jose. So just after the video, then you come in for us.
Hello, Africa Town Hall. Good evening, bonsoir, bonjour, bonjourne, wherever anyone is in the world. Happy to be here virtually today. Many of you may know me, Megan, very active in WADA as part of the Cameroon team. But today I'm actually joining you with my Foodtrek team. We're very excited to talk to you today about a Fund 11 project that we got voted in Fund 11 and are now starting to implement. That is all about delegate representatives, so DREPs for the unrolling of Voltaire. So I am joined today with Joanna and Jose, who are both very active members of their respective communities. Joanna with the MENA community and Jose with LATAM, as well as both very active in Intersect. So it's a great team to be working with, and we're really excited to talk to you today about the work we're doing with DREPs. So now I'll pass it over to Joanna to introduce the project.
Great, thank you, Megan. So yeah, as Megan mentioned, today we'd like to talk to you a bit more about our Fund 11 proposal that we've just started to implement. So the problem that we're trying to solve, as you know, Voltaire governance is unfolding, and we're going to start to see many individuals sign up as DREPs, in which they would represent their respective delegators in voting on governance actions. But a problem that we saw very quickly with that is that it's very difficult for one person to have a full set of skills and the capability to truly represent many people in their community or people with diverse backgrounds. So with this proposal, we aim to create a framework for community DREPs to develop in which exceptional representation is enabled and diverse community voices are heard through their DREPs. So with this, we aim to not only develop this framework, but actually model what we're calling an exceptional delegated representation. We're going to do this by building an inclusive and resilient community, utilizing pro-social principles, democratic pluralism, and sociocratic principles that we'll talk a bit about later.
So from an operational standpoint, a lot of this stemmed from the work we've been doing with FOTREC and research, criticism, etc. of the SIP process. And we have had a lot of success as an organization using sociocratic methods in how we function as an organization, as well as how we are organized. So from a structural perspective, that looks like interlinked circles for operational circles, etc. From a implementation standpoint, our meetings involve talking in rounds to make sure that all voices are heard. Decisions are based on consent, and people are given clear roles within circles for increased accountability. As well as what we've experienced is more efficient organization. All of these things do have a term limit as well, so there is a constant feedback loop. And, our success of implementing this through FOTREC is encouraging us to try these principles out in the DREP framework as well. As a suggestion of a good way to get feedback from our community. So in terms of these interlinking circles, here's a little representation of kind of what that looks like. So the idea stemmed from FOTREC. We put in the proposal through FOTREC, but now the DREP circle is its own circle and entity. So the initial sort of that middle circle is the three of us for right now. And we have our advisor circle, which is the subject matter experts who are assisting us in, the technical components as well as actual research and paper writing to submit this to a scientific journal. And what we'll be working on in the next months is establishing these domain circles. So we've identified a need for infrastructure and applications as a circle, and our sort of call to action to everyone who wants to join us is to come together and express your interest in what other specialization we need to be considering. So for this third circle, it's open right now. There could be even many more circles. But we'll talk more about how to join us and how to express your interest in being a circle a little bit later. So you see the three of us is the initial 3-person DREP team. I mentioned our advisors. We have Kenrick, Erkstein, and Eric, who are all subject matter experts in the governance field. And as I mentioned, are helping us with the paper.
Okay, so this is very exciting. Not only just to be able for us to be able to show it with to share it with you, but also to be able to invite everyone to participate. Of course, this is open to everyone within the Cardano industry, and to all the community. But we've set up some requirements for and some pathways for people to join this DREP exercise and be an active member of the governance of Cardano. So some requisites that we've set up is each of the domain circles will be at least 3 people, but up to a top of 15 to keep it functional and to be able to decide and have the deepness of conversations that we require to have. Then there's the parent circle can always set up sub-circles, and that sub-circles will have a level of independence. They will have their own charter and their own decisions, and there's mechanisms in which circles can communicate so that we keep the whole organization synchronized and harmonic. There is a mechanism established as well for sub-circles to not only be born but also to die. Topics are not eternal, so as long as they are relevant and that we agree that they are required, then there's a substance for that, but there are mechanisms established for that. As I just mentioned, some of the requirements are just being part of Cardano. The way to demonstrate that is to have 500 ADA delegated to our DREP. And let me remind you that DREPs and the DREPs are not active at the moment. They have not been activated yet within the Cardano governance. So there is a test net, which is called SanchoNet, and we are active there. We do have a DREP, and this 500 ADA is not a real cost at the moment, but it will be when we are in mainnet. We will require also a proof of life so that we don't have people with many identities trying to participate and spam the system. We do have the limit of 15 people per circle, so it will be first come, first serve. And the first 3-person circle will be elected by the DREP circle. So it's just a way to bootstrap it, but then the whole sociocratic method kicks in and lets the community take its own decisions. Can you move to the next slide, please? So how to join? Just as I mentioned, there's those requirements, but you can either choose to join the coordinated circle or any of the particular domain-specific circles. But you can also come and create your own new circle if you feel that that is a way. We have the open circle, and that's the way to initiate this. But if you do have a group of members from the community that have a specific topic that they would like to bring to this sociocratic DREP, it's always welcome. The way to delegate in SanchoNet is to delegate to the code, the hash that we have there, the DREP hash that's on screen. You can always reach out and let us know about your interest at the email that's on screen, admin@photrec.io. And if you want to know more about this proposal, the original proposal is always available on IdeaScale on the link that is on the screen. Thank you everyone for supporting us, and we hope to hearing more about you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us at admin@photrec.org for more questions. Bon, également, si vous parlez français, n'hésitez pas à nous contacter également en français. Comme aussi, Joanna parle. Joanna, you speak also Arabic, right? And
Yeah.
Jose speaks Spanish. So feel free in your own language to reach out to us if you want. Thanks,
you.
everyone.
That was beautiful presentation. Jose, how you there?
Hi, Daniel. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Would you like to wrap it up for us?
Sure. So I'm very excited to be able to move forward with this DREP, sociocratic DREP exercise. As mentioned in the video, we do think that collective knowledge is much more powerful, and having a DREP who is not just an individual, but a collective of people will not only provide a broader set of knowledge and capacities to the decision making, but it will also keep everyone in check. At the same time that it will provide a good mechanism for smaller communities to be able to have the sway on the governance that we require. You know, this a DREP will only be as good as the amount of delegation that they have, and having a collective DREP is also a mechanism to join a DREP that will have hopefully a large amount of delegation, so that your opinion will have a more sway on Cardano's governance. So everyone is very welcome to join this exercise. It's open to all the community. We started out with these 3 domain circles, as mentioned on the video. There's one of them which is open, which is probably, if you're not on the infrastructure or applications circle, then you want to join the open circle and then start a conversation there. If there's interest from other members, you can start your own sub-circle and bring your voice to the wider community and have the opportunity to leverage on the delegation of a larger DREP to support your ideas. If you can have their, and the Sociocratic method is great for that. It's a decision-making mechanism in which really it's all about hearing all voices on the board, and we move forward unless there is an objection from the community. So it's much more powerful than actually having to go and voting, which is a very, very powerful thing to do, to have. There's also, so Megan shared on the chat the email as well. If everyone wants to know more, you can always reach out to us there. And we're always happy to hear from everyone, and everyone's welcome. If there are any questions, we'll be more than happy to address them now.
Lawe, it seems like I saw your hand up. Do you want to say something?
I was just giving him thumbs up in presentation. Yeah, I'm cool. No questions from me for now.
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks for that.
Okay, so you want to do more follow-up? The email address have been sent in the group chat. Kindly do follow-up, send them an email, and then they'll get back to you. We'll have to move to our next and last agenda for today. Hope you are there. Obio. Obio, are you there? Okay, Obio might be away from his phone at the moment. So we will continue with our town hall. Continue with the town hall. Then when it comes, we'll come back to his slide. Okay, so we all know that Fund 12 was launched today, and it was a very beautiful ceremony. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it, you can go to Cardano Sports on X, and then you get to know all the updates. So the Fund 12 have been launched, but submission of proposals will be open on 29th of April. 29th of April, submissions will be open for you to submit your Project Catalyst proposals. On our next meeting, we'll be discussing more about it and how you can write a very good proposal to champion your activities or to empower your community. So we'll be expecting you on our next meeting for you to get to know more about the Catalyst projects and how to submit a proposal. More information on it can be found on both our websites, on our website and on our Telegram channel. Boaz will be sharing our channel with you all, and then you can also go to our X, and then you get to know more of us. So this is our website, catalystafrica.org. You visit there, you get to know more about what we are doing and what we have done so far. Obio, are you back? Okay, seems like Obio is not back. Obio was supposed to talk about Singularity Net. It's also another blockchain focusing on artificial intelligence, and they also have something similar to what Cardano Project Catalyst is doing. They just opened their funding round. That's the Fund 4. So if you have a project, interesting project that you want to write about AI and blockchain, you can also visit the deepfunding.io, I think. That's the website. Then submit your proposal as well. We're also thinking of grooming you guys, teaching you, educating you on the kind of projects you can put on over there, and we'll be sharing the link with you. Richmond, if you are in the group, you are still on the Zoom, kindly share the Google form for them to fill, those who want to get to know more about the Singularity Net and deep funding activities. So I think that is what OBO would have presented here, and maybe something more, but it's not here. Things may break, like we said earlier on, but get to know that we take you to our destination. So we want to take this opportunity to thank you. Thank you for coming to today's meeting. Thank you, Mr. Barat. Thank you, Vina. Laura, do you want to say something? Laura, your hand is up.
Just a question, and since Ubio,
Mm.
can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I had a question for the Singularity Net presentation, but unfortunately Ubio wasn't around to present it. But earlier on, I had wanted to ask about how to go about registering on the platform and probably participating in the proposal reviews, because I couldn't find any much information about that when I went through the website. And
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty much what I want to get more information about.
Okay. So what we'll do is that kindly scan any of our social media handles, especially the Telegram. Scan it and then get in touch with us over there, and they will also send you the information and the materials that you need to learn more about the Singularity Net and how you can participate in their deep funding round. We designed a form, Google form, to be sharing with you, but I think Richmond is not here. He just also dropped. But join our social media links, and then get in touch with us, and we'll let you know. It was open, I think 2 days ago, so there's still more room for you to submit your proposals. However, it's very important for you to get to know more about it before you submit your proposal. So please scan our Telegrams, social media handles, and then get in touch with us. And we want to say thank you very much for coming to today's town hall. We really appreciate all of you. And our next town hall will be 10th May. 10th May, it will be our next town hall. We'll be communicating with you on our social media. If you have not visited our website, kindly use that opportunity to visit our website. So officially, we have closed for today's town hall. Unofficially, we can stay and have a chit chat. Bonjour.
Bonjour.